With more than enough hate to go around for Wizards of the Coast right now, some players can't help but turn and take a look at the upcoming Brothers War. As soon as I saw Mox Amber appearing in Brothers War, my eyes turned and took a look. Welcome back, everyone. MTG Moxman here, and thank you once again, everyone, for joining me on the channel today for this content. A big shout out to each and every one of you who's been hitting that subscribe button and helping me get closer to 14,000 subscribers. I'm only 820 away. It's an amazing feeling, guys. Thanks again, everyone. And of course, a shout out to the regular viewers on this channel who tune in each and every day, my Patreon members who support this channel, as well as my YouTube membership members, guys. Thanks again. As we continue to draw nearer to the release of Brothers War, it's time to take a look at what this set has to offer the player base, as well as some of the areas it may be lacking in. When this set was first announced, I was very excited. I've been waiting all year for it. This set and Dominaria United were the sets I was super hyped and couldn't wait to get my hands on. As the years gone on, of course, opinions and attitudes change, and mine is no different, and I'm sticking away from sealed boxes in favor of picking up individual single cards that I think will just fill out my collection a little bit better. But what this set does have going for it is at the end of the year. And players looking for that last hurrah, that last big excitement, will be looking toward this set to see what they can create, what they can enjoy to get their mind off what's going on out there. Now, it also is a great concept idea. The Brothers War follows off of the old Antiquities set back in '94, and that's a pretty amazing thing because Antiquities brings us back to the old days. And that means you're getting a lot of nostalgia out there, and Wizards' idea and the concept of this set is going to be well received no matter how you look at it. Players who have been around a long time will be looking at these cards, and new players coming in won't be able to help themselves but look at some of the amazing giant mechs that they've added into this set, as well as some of the individual cards. Now, the card set itself so far by design does look decent. The cards seem to interact well from what I've seen, and when I pair that off with other cards that are inside standard and looking to build on things like Arena or any kind of FNM or Draft Night, I think players are in for a lot of excitement and a lot of good memories, because when you take away everything Wizards has going against it right now and you just put this set aside and a little vacuum sealed box and said, what does this set have to offer? It has a lot of fun, okay? It looks well built. And that means players are going to enjoy themselves time and time again going back to this set, which means as well that the financial side of this set may be down right now, but chances are Wizards is going to pivot from their problems they're in right now, and this set will probably have a tighter constriction on its print run, and the money will move on quicker, which means the financial future for this set is probably a lot brighter than people want to admit right now. I myself am not buying any boxes, but that doesn't mean that a year from now I won't stop gathering some up. I'll pick up the odd ones here or there if they're on sale and slowly build a small position in them, because I really feel this set will still have a lot to offer the players. Now, when we're taking a look at the retro area of this set, the retro cards being added in, that is kind of a highlight. When I see as many artifacts as I'm seeing in this set, it really does get me excited, because Antiquities is about a giant, basically mechanized war that happened across all of Dominaria and just destroyed the joint. It's awesome. It's a piece of our history coming back to play out live as if you were right there. And I really like that. The idea of all the mechs coming back. I wish they had brought us some of the original cards a little closer to True and Home, but I'll show you some of the pictures here. We'll go through a few of the cards as we go along. And when you look at the retro cards, I want to show the first one here, which is going to be Mox Amber. Now, for anyone who's been on my channel more than a hot minute, I have the largest collection of Mox Ambers in the entire world. I still continue to have it, even though I've sold off hundreds and hundreds of copies. I still have the largest position. And seeing the retro Mox Amber appear in this set really did get my attention. It means before Wizards had all their problems come along, and if you look back at some of my old Mox Amber videos, I said in 4 or 5 years, back in 2018, that this card would come back around, but it would come back in a very specific way. And it really has. It's not being added as part of a standard set again. It's being set aside as a special card, and that's why they've got this retro frame, and that is beautiful. They've changed up the text box. I like that. We've still got Steven doing the awesome artwork, which really blew my mind, and seeing the schematic drawings and saying it was discovered by Feldon from Dominaria is just, it touches on so many things. So I will be picking up copies of this regardless of the price, which I hate to say, but it is one of those cards I'm going to get a couple of play sets no matter what. But for those people who are on the financial side of things for Magic and are looking at Brothers War, guess what? It's going to be a hard to get card. The price is not going to drop that much on current copies of Mox Amber. There may be a sudden dip for a while, but it's not going to do anything because these retro cards are still only legal in the formats that they were ultimately produced in. So you're going to be seeing this card in Modern and stuff in Commander, but we're not going to be seeing it in anything else right now because it wasn't added to this as a standard set. But still a great idea that Wizards has added in. That gives it that extra little bit of flair and flavor, and it really does look beautiful the way they've added this kind of stuff back into the game for nostalgic players as well as for new players to enjoy. So I give Wizards a pat on the back for that. Before their troubles came along with this whole M30 debacle, this set really would have shone for them. It would be shining bright as an end-of-year product that they could be proud of and a lot of players are going to enjoy. But now let's take a look at what this set doesn't have. Okay? Number one, the prices were increased this year, making this product more difficult for players to enjoy. It is not cheap. Boxes going up every year means fewer players can afford to buy the boxes and more players will be taking that singles route. But it's still a great set, right? It is. But when the prices are higher, it's still going to affect who decides to consume that product. That leads us to things like the Transformers cards. Should they have been added into this set? Although I like them, I think they look beautiful, they're awesome, and I will be buying at least one of each in each type of frame they're available in because I'm a Transformers fan. I can't help myself. I still have to wonder why this set. Why not a Secret Lair? As a Universes Beyond addition to this set, I don't think they mix well, and I don't think they should be here as a set additive, right? And they're being added, what, one for every type of box product like set boosters. I didn't really follow it that closely, honestly, because I know they're going to be super cheap. Knowing Wizards, they kind of made this like the Mystical Archives. They're going to be everywhere, and that's a shame because I think they missed an opportunity here. They could have made a lot more prestige to the product by doing a bigger line of them and maybe doing it as a Secret Lair set or standalone Commander products. I think that would have been a better housing for these types of cards and artwork because the artwork does look nice. Okay, it really does. I just think Wizards missed a little bit on this one, and it didn't have to be added now. I almost feel like they're throwing this in, thinking it's going to draw in Transformers fans, and that's not the way it works. You might think it does, but, you know, that's not really how it works for players. Transformers fans are Transformers fans. If by incidentally they play Magic, that's great. You might get some players that way, but they're already playing the game, remember? So I don't think that's going to really be there. Then we follow up with inflation, uncertainty in the market, job concerns coming around the world right now as the word recession is being floated around more and more. That will put a damper on this product. It doesn't mean it's going to kill anything. There's still going to be fans and there are people who have lots of money who can afford to buy this product and will buy it. They really will. But it still will put an overall dampering on the sales probably by week 3. By week 3, I expect sales to really start petering out toward the end as players get settled in for the long haul and say, I've had enough, I'm going to pick up the singles from here, and you'll see a lot of the sealed products start to sit on shelves. And stores have already adjusted those prices. So these are things the product's lacking. It's just the timing of the product probably is not best, but Wizards is going to stick to the schedule. Nothing's going to change. It's printed, it's ready to go. It's going to be out there. But it does give a kind of financial positive outlook years from now on this product that people, you know, I'll cover that in later videos, but it definitely gives it to that. Now, they've probably gone ahead and put too many types of cards in again. We got Transformers, retro frame, numbered serialized cards that are only found in collector boxes. I think that's a mistake as well. I really think Wizards should have added those to the set and the draft as an overall possibility and spread those numbers around to try to draw in more consumers. What they've done is gone the Monopoly route, where it's like, you know, for the Monopoly on McDonald's, they used to have it on every product, and then they started making it harder and harder to get by putting it only on premium products, which is what they've done. They put it in the collector boxes. For the serialized cards, that's a mistake. Okay, when you start alienating things, Wizards, you should see how this is turning out for you right now. So I think they missed the mark on that. But the serialized cards, although not a big thing for me, I can appreciate the retro look of some of those cards, which I think look good. Okay, I really do appreciate them. Again, it brings me back to old school Magic. But I think they missed an opportunity there. So I don't think that's going to be very good for them going forward. It's not going to drive sales at all. And then the last big thing that Wizards kind of has counting against them right now is the hate. The overall hate in the marketplace. If anyone watched that M30 announcement of the collector booster packs with the 2 people on there, it was going across my Discord, my email, and I had people doing a count on how many negative hits it was getting. Sure, people were watching it, but they were just thumbs down across the board. And people were laughing at whoever gave it a thumbs up. It was one of those brutal things you just have to expect is going to happen when the hate is out there right now. So will that overall affect their sales? It probably will to a small degree. Maybe not as big as some people would like, because this product is still pretty good. So it's going to attract some attention. Players are going to want to play with it. And they should be able to make that choice for themselves. I myself will be buying at least some singles and probably a few of the products going forward later in the year. But guys, it's still going to have a hit. Just not as big as people expect. So when you play those 2 areas off against themselves, the positives versus the negatives, I still think this product is worth delving into, having some fun with, cracking the odd pack or 2. At this time, I still don't recommend buying boxes. I think the economic climate the way it is, and the people who are going to have to be sitting on those things basically for 12 to 14 years to actually see the profits come around, I think you need a more positive area of our economy to come around again before players really start diving into boxes. And Wizards has to give us some kind of assurances that these boxes have value going forward and that the products within them have value. And that's got to do a whole bunch with their PR campaign they'll bring around later. But as these spoilers come out, I have to say, I overall am very pleased. I'm really excited to get out there to a pre-release and try this stuff on Arena, meet up with some friends, do some drafting. I think the LGSs will have a nice little pleasant surprise for a couple of weeks when it gets released, with players coming back again, and probably somewhere in the early new year, because I don't think Remastered will do as well as they hope it will because the price tag's too high. I think when that comes around, you might see more people drafting products like the Brothers War going forward, because it's going to hit enough of the player base in a positive way, and the set seems constructed well enough that it's going to draw people in time and time again as the years go by. So those are my opinions on it. Guys, let me know what you think in the comment section. How are you liking the look of Brothers War so far? Do you think I'm on the mark here? Did I miss something? I'd like to know what you all think. And a big shout out again to all the awesome people tuning in every day. I can't wait to see what everyone says, and I look forward to another video with you guys tomorrow. See you then. And of course, a big shout out goes out to all the fantastic patrons on the channel who support my efforts each and every day. Thanks again for being there, guys. I can count on you. I know, you guys are the ones who make it to the end. I just wanted to mention this. You have Su-Chi Caveguard versus Su-Chi. I love this. I'm sorry. I look at the original Su-Chi and I look at the Su-Chi Guard, okay? It has more of a mirror kind of feel to it, but the fact it's an 8/8 for 8 versus a 4/4 for 4, you see what they did, right? And Ward 4, of course, didn't exist, but when it dies, you add 8 mana. That's awesome, right? And of course, when you see Su-Chi, you get 4. So a card like that, I think this hits all the right areas of Magic's idea on this. Remember we talked about it for Brothers War, that they would revamp the power levels and make them stronger to make it kind of fit in with Magic nowadays. That's exactly what this card is. A souped up Su-Chi that doesn't break the reserve list, but it basically is the exact same card at a higher power level. And you guys made it to the end. That's why I saved this bit, because I find that fascinating that they did that in that certain kind of fashioned way where it's like, pardon me, it's still Su-Chi, but it's like super powerhouse Su-Chi. And I like that. I think it's good. And the last thing I want to mention, because you guys are at the end, I didn't want to shove this all in the video in case people didn't want to see it. Torsha's Dig Site, okay? I actually don't mind this card. I wish the Surveil was 2, by the way, not 3. But that kind of hits the right theme for Brothers War. Whereas the Fortified Beachhead is a meh to me. It doesn't do anything for me, although it gives soldiers. See more soldier things? You notice we talked about this, that soldiers would be a bigger thing after we saw it show up in Dominaria United. I knew it would be in the Brothers War. We talked about that. And other than the soldiers thing, this is just a dead card to me because you've got to have soldier cards in your hands, which means it's going to be very type specific build as opposed to a more broad raging mana base. So expect that card to tank. It's not going to have real value because it's too tied to a specific type of class, character creation type thing. We've got to build a soldier deck and we can use that land. I get it. Kind of a meh. But the Torchia one, I like the idea of it at least. Okay? I like that idea. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being here at the end. You know what, guys? Hope you all had a happy Halloween. By the way, this is being filmed Halloween night. So, yeah, I had to like cut and edit things a little differently because you're answering the door all the time as the kids come. But pretty epic time. Brothers War is going to be good. It's going to be exciting. Can't wait to see how it all works out. And thanks for tuning in, guys. We're going to have a good time.